Parashat Shemini, Shlishi. So we finished yesterday's Aliyah where the people brought the korbanot, Aaron, his children, and they were zocher to see the Shekhinah. Vayerach v'Adonai el kol ha'am, vayar kol ha'am vayarodu vayipadu al panehem. The parasuk begins by saying how everybody saw Hashem Shekhinah coming down. They saw the fire coming down, burning the sacrifices. It was tremendous simcha with partying, with basar v'yayin. Remember, it's Rosh Chodesh as well, and everybody's happy. But then a story happens. This is a famous story of Mitat HaTzadikim, the death of two great tzadikim, Nadav and Avihu, the children of Aaron. The pasuk describes the story. Vayikhu b'nei Aaron Nadav v'Avihu ish machtato. Pasuk Aleph describes how Nadav and Avihu, they were great people. The two oldest children of Aaron, you can imagine, the two Kohanim of the Beit HaMikdash, tremendous people. According to some opinions in the Midrash, they were even greater than Moshe and Aaron. If not for Moshe and Aaron, they would have been the leaders in their stead. They came forward and did something without permission. They took a pan, a special ketoret pan, a pan made for ketoret. They put a fire in it, and they brought ketoret, and they brought inside the Mishkan a sacrifice of ketoret that Hashem did not tell them to do. Now it might have been appropriate for Shemini Lamiluim, for such a day, to bring a sacrifice on your own, for people to donate sacrifices out of simcha. It might have been appropriate, but there was a problem. And Rashi brings two problems. There's a machloket in the Midrash, Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Yishmael. Rabbi Eliezer says, really what they did was correct. Lo metu b'nei Aharon ela al yidei sheharu halacha b'fnei Moshe Rabban. Their problem was that they did it without asking their Rebbe Moshe. They were students. They should have humbly went to their teacher. Shouldn't we bring korbanot today on our own sacrifices? And Moshe would have said, yes, go for it. Go ahead. Show Hashem your simcha. That would have been great. But they didn't ask. They went on their own without asking. You can't do that. The Gemara says in Brachos, chayav mitah. That was one opinion of Rabbi Eliezer. The second opinion of Rabbi Yishmael says that because there was so much seudah that day, there was basar, there was wine, there's a halakha we're going to see later in this aliyah, that a kohen who does avodah in Beit HaMikdash is not allowed to drink wine on that day. Not allowed to drink wine because wine takes away your equilibrium. You cannot think properly. You can't make the right decisions about how to bring the sacrifices. And that's a big avon for the kohen to go inside. And that was their problem. They had drunken wine. They went in with wine. That was their punishment. There's other opinions in the Midrash, but I just said the ones from Rashi. But either way, their punishment was immediate. But immediately another fire comes down from heaven. This time not to burn the sacrifices, but to burn and to kill Nadav and Avihu, these great. They actually died in the Mishkan. And we'll see in the Pesukim later that they didn't die. The bodies didn't burn. The bodies were whole. It was a fire that went up the nostrils and it burned their neshama away. But their body was fully intact. What was Moshe Rabbeinu's reaction? Immediately he turns to his brother Aharon, their father. Hashem already told me this, predicted this way back in Parashat Tetzaveh, in Parashat Kitisa. Hashem hinted to me that on the first day there's going to be a human sacrifice, we should call it. But not literally a human sacrifice. What it means is there's going to be a Kiddush Hashem. Hashem is going to bring a Kiddush Hashem through tzaddikim that are going to sort of do something a little bit wrong and get punished, and that's going to cause Kiddush Hashem. People are going to say, Rashi brings down, people are going to say, Kal v'chomer. If even the tzaddikim die from such a small thing, Kal v'chomer, other people as well. So Moshe told Aharon, I was thinking that this would be us. It would be me and you dying today. But I realized that maybe your children were perhaps greater than us. They had the zechut to be the korbanot, the human sacrifices for the people. But then Moshe goes on to tell Aharon, but your job today is to be quiet. You should not sit down and cry. You should not seize what you're doing with the simcha and the sacrifices. You have to continue as if nothing happened. That's a tremendous test. And the pasuk says, Vayidom Aharon. Aharon listened to Moshe. He was quiet and he continued as if nothing happened. Instead, Moshe calls to their cousins, Mishael, Vayikra Moshe el Mishael ve'el el Safan, Bnei Uziel dod Aharon. Moshe calls their cousins, Mishael and Safan. They should be the ones to take the bodies out of the Mishkan. They carry them out. And again, Moshe repeats to the children of Aharon, do not rip your clothing. Do not grow your hair long. You have to look groomed every day. You are Kohanim in the Beit HaMikdash, on Shemini Lamiluim. you do not mourn your brother. You do not mourn your son. Rather, achechem kol bet Yisrael yibku et haserafa asher saraf Adonai. Rather, the rest of the nation, they're going to be the ones to cry over the tzaddikim that just died. And you have to stay in the oil moed until it's finished. And the pasuk, the Eliyahu just ends off how Hashem rewarded Aharon by the next halacha being in the name of Aharon. Vayidaber Adonai el Aharon le'emor. Hashem did not speak to Aharon, but it was said in his name as a reward for him being quiet and doing what Moshe said. That what was the halacha? A kohen cannot drink wine when he does have the yain v'shechan al tesht atau banecha itach bevoachem at oil moed. When you're coming into the oil moed, a kohen to do the avodah, you're not allowed to drink wine. If you do, chayav mitah v'lo tamutu. The pasuk just ends off. Not only a kohen can't drink wine, but even a dayan. Ulahorot et bnei Yisrael. Even a dayan who's coming to give halachic conclusions, psakim, to the Jewish people, who also a dayan is not allowed to drink wine on the day that he gives a psak. And that's how the Aliyah ends off.